Hello, welcome. We are live, I think. Happy Monday, the 11th of December. I can't believe it's Monday again. Honestly, it comes around so quickly. But today's an exciting one, as it always is, or at least I'm biased and I think it always is. Two things we're going to talk about today. One is a particular metric of Palantir's that is very interesting, and it shows how Palantir is quite competitive against its peers. So that's number one. And then there's been a new video released from Palantir themselves, which is particularly interesting. And it's a bit of a teaser video because there doesn't seem to be an announcement that's gone alongside it or anything like that. So I'm going to share that with you as well, and we'll dive into what that could mean. Then, of course, we're going to have a look at what Palantir stock is doing pre-market, and we'll then jump over into the live chat comments after that. So same routine as normal. If you're watching this live, please feel free to interact with each other and myself in the live chat. We'll jump to that at the end of the video. And if you're not watching this live, make sure you hit live chat replay so you can see exactly what was being spoken about. So I hope you're all having a great start to your day. I know a lot of you are from America, some of you from the UK, and others from elsewhere, including Australia. So whatever part of the day you're on, I hope you're having a good part of that day. So let's jump straight into this. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so this is what I saw. I don't tend to go on social media very much over the weekend, but yesterday I was having a little scroll on X and I saw this post from Jeremy. It looks like the chart that he shared has originally come from Arnie, which I'm sure if you follow Palantir, you're following both of those guys on YouTube and on X. But this is showing revenue per employee. So what you can see here, even if you don't know what revenue per employee is, you can see two things. One, Palantir's revenue per employee, RPE, seems to be increasing. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? You have to sort of dive into this deeper to understand that. But second, you can also see that Palantir's RPE is a lot higher than ServiceNow and Salesforce. Very interesting. So let's just quickly talk about what RPE is. And then we'll discuss why it's important and what this means versus their competitors. And then we've also got this topic discussed from Alex Karp himself. So RP, revenue per employee, it's a financial metric that measures the average revenue generated by each full-time employee in a business. It's calculated by using a particular formula, and that formula takes the total revenue generated and divides it by the number of full-time employees. Then that gives you the RPE. Okay. So why do we care as investors? Well, ultimately, we want the revenue per employee to be as high as possible, because this means then that there is an increased shareholder value. Having a higher RPE basically indicates to us that the employees at the company that we're investing into are generating more revenue for the company. So obviously that then can mean, along with other factors, it doesn't just mean this, but along with other factors, that can then lead to higher profitability, which is, of course, again, as investors, we want that. Alongside that, it indicates that the employees are being more productive. They are giving more output. Why do we care? Well, you've got to remember that us as investors, by investing into a company, we are basically owning a bit of that company. So we kind of have to view it as, if we were the CEO, would we care about this metric? Yes, we absolutely would. So that's why we should care about it as investors. It's kind of worth pointing out at this stage, though, that the RPE can't just be compared to other RPEs of other businesses, because it's quite impacted by industry and other factors as well. So you have to look at it in the context of, if you're going to compare it, in the context of other companies that are also in the same industry. So in this image that is on screen now, you can see that Palantir is being compared to Salesforce and ServiceNow. I don't know an awful lot about ServiceNow. I did use Salesforce in the past, but they are both software companies. However, what you can see is that Palantir has a significantly higher revenue per employee, which again, like we just said, indicates that they have a higher employee productivity. That then can all mean that Palantir has a more lean business model compared to the peers, compared to its peers in the industry. Now, what could this also mean? Well, this along with the margins of the business shows us that actually all of those bearish remarks about Palantir being an AI imposter, not a true software company, just a consultancy company. Well, looking at these numbers and looking at the margins, it's clear that actually Palantir is a software as a service business, and they are actually doing better or being at least very competitive with other software businesses, just looking at this metric. So then we have this. This is the letter to shareholders. So this is from Alex Karp himself, and he released this during the Q3 earnings. I'm not going to read the whole letter, but there is a section that he decided to include about the revenue per employee again. Now, he obviously doesn't get an unlimited word count for these letters, so he has to pick and choose what he wants to tell people, what is the most important. And interestingly, he did decide to talk about this metric. So it's in this section here. We continue to do more with less. The revenue we are generating per employee has nearly doubled in the past 4 years. Our engineers have built our software platforms, and it is those platforms that are now driving the value that we as a company create. At the end of Q3 2019, we had 2,358 employees. Not many at all in 2019. And we'll keep reading because I've got a point from this. And had generated $705 million in revenue on a trailing 12-month basis, representing nearly $299,000 in revenue per employee. $299,000 in revenue per employee in 2019, and that has been increasing. 4 years later, by the end of Q3 2023, we had a total of 3,810 employees. This may be slightly higher now, but it won't be too dramatically higher. For a business like Palantir that is growing, like Palantir that is getting all of these new announcements, working with the NHS, which is massive, working with the government Department of Defense, massive, working with some of the biggest companies in particular industries out there, massive, and they've only got less than 4,000 employees. That's tiny. That's really, really small. So what are they going to be able to achieve when they grow their talent base, when they grow the number of employees that they have? Considering that it's still early days for Palantir. They have only recently gone public. I mean, they've been around for a long time, sure. They've been having, they've got valuable products and they have done for ages. But in the grand scheme of things, this is a small amount of people working on such a big output. So they had generated 2.13 billion in revenue on a trailing 12-month basis, representing over $500,000 in revenue per employee. Now, you'd obviously have to do a little bit of digging to see how that stacks compared to competitors like we just did with a couple of companies to actually know if that's really good. But just by the sounds of it, over $500,000 in revenue per employee. And then he said, the sharp rise in the productive capacity of our company is a reflection on the increasing strength of our software products, whose development only continues to accelerate. So why is this? Why is this good? Why is it happening? Well, I think okay, let me backtrack a little bit. If we take Tesla, we know that they're a bit more established than Palantir in terms of being a public company. They didn't go public too long ago, but still a little bit more so. And we know from them that they are one of the most efficient companies in terms of manufacturing in their facilities, in their factories. They have some of the best production lines and ability to scale than anyone else. Then if we look at Palantir and we just think about what Palantir are actually doing for other people, not for themselves, but for other people, they are the company that businesses are turning to when that business wants to be more productive, when that business wants to utilize their own data more efficiently and more effectively, when that business wants to look at how they can utilize AI to make better business decisions, to increase the top and bottom line of their businesses, to increase the output per employee. Palantir are one of the main companies that other businesses are turning to and working with in order to do all of those things. So if Palantir are able to provide that to other companies, then they are absolutely, without a doubt, going to be doing that in-house as well. So I think it's very, very fair to say that most likely Palantir have optimized their operations. They have probably made routine tasks as autonomous, probably AI-based now, as possible. They probably work to improve their workflows, and they've probably been able to make sure that each employee is able to contribute more effectively to the revenue generation of the business. Then we just take the fact that Palantir is a software business. And as a software company with software as a service margins, they will be able to develop a product, a platform, and then when they actually scale that to more clients and more users, it has a relatively low cost compared to the revenue that that can actually generate. So they make the product once, they scale it up. Yeah, there'll be some fees involved and some, employees' efforts to actually implement that, to train on that, to improve that, to develop that further. But ultimately, they do have those SaaS margins. Having this ability and having this scalability means that they can have a higher RPE, revenue per employee, higher RPE, even as their consumer base grows. As they get more customers, they can still scale that up. Then we've also got to think that actually they are getting new contracts. We've heard in the last few days that they've had new contracts. And we're going to talk about one of them in a bit, actually, because I've got something to say about that. But some of those contracts, not all of them, but a lot of them, are actually those really high value government and defense contracts, the ones with a massive, massive price tag. That means that by getting those contracts, they can then significantly boost their revenue and their revenue per employee without actually increasing the headcount that they have. Now, of course, they will bring new talent in over time, but they are still able to get all of this revenue on board with such a small amount of employees. And then we've also got to think that actually what they do often is retain and expand on current contracts. They are a very sticky business. Palantir are a very, very sticky company. Once they get integrated and they start showing their value, people aren't really moving away from them. People are saying, okay, we want to, renew this contract, and we also want to look for further ways that we can actually work with you. Perhaps we can start using AIP. This means that they are able to then expand existing contracts, bring in more revenue, again, without a need for increase in headcount. Of course, though, there are other companies out there that are also software companies in the tech industry. But why do Palantir have some of the best RPEs compared to competitors? Well, it could come down to the fact that they are just hiring really, really well. They are hiring the best talent. They are being very picky, and then they are putting those talents into the right roles at the right time. And actually, we heard about this recently. I spoke about this on a live stream not that long ago. We heard on an interview with Joe Longsdale, a guy that used to work for Palantir. And he was saying that one of the main things that he took away from Palantir as a business, one of his highlights, was that they are very, very strategic and very, very good at hiring. And again, if they are able to put the right people, the right highly skilled people in the right jobs at the right times, they will generate more revenue per employee again, which feeds back into this. So let me know what you think about that. I think it's interesting. I would like to see this continue to grow. I would like to do some more digging into how they stack up versus other competitors. But yeah, this does look really, really interesting from my point of view. So now let's leave that topic behind and move on to the next one. So I need to share a video with you. So let me share. Whenever I share volume, I have to reshare the link because I have to share it as a tab or something. I don't know. Still getting used to all this. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, you guys can see that. So again, over the weekend on Saturday, Palantir released this video. So I'm going to press play. We're going to watch this video. It's only 50 seconds. And then we're going to talk about what's actually going on here. So let's make sure I have my volume up. Right, pressing play now. As always, give me a thumbs up if you can hear okay. If you can't, let me know.
We're here at the 2023 big game, and it's coming down to the wire. Who will win, Philadelphia or Kansas City? Right now, there's 2 minutes, 55 seconds left on the clock, and KC has the ball. It's 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 43. Now, what you're expecting to happen here, there was a bit of a scramble play, and the Kansas City quarterback runs the ball into field goal range, where they ran down the clock and eventually kicked a field goal and won the big game. Would you have called the same play? Let's rewind. Now you're the big game coach with Palantir AIP as your partner. Can you use advanced AI to win the big game?
Okay, so they said alongside this video, it's game day and America's AI advantage is back. As the official software partner, we're excited to present a Palantir AIP-powered football simulation game before kickoff. Today, who are you rooting for? Team Army or Team Navy? Okay, so a few things to say about this. Now, I don't know much about American football. I don't particularly like American football. I played British football, so soccer. Maybe I'd like it if I tried it. I don't know. But anyway, I don't really know too much about the technicality and the details in terms of the football side of it that it was showing. But it seems to be a simulation video showcasing American football gameplay analysis, from what I can tell. It doesn't seem to be that this is Palantir's official announcement of a new partnership or anything like that. It seems to be more of like a teaser video, but like, look how AIP could be used in this setting, that sort of thing. Maybe it's hinting at a potential partnership that will be announced in a few days. That would be interesting. Or maybe it's just going to pique some interest and actually a partnership may be announced down the line. Interesting, very interesting, because this sparks a lot of thoughts for me. Straight away, I start thinking this could give certain clubs an advantage. If that happens and Palantir work with particular clubs or particular sporting organizations within American football and it gives them the advantage, I imagine other competitors will then look to do a similar thing and may actually want to work with Palantir as well, so they are not left behind in utilizing AI to get that gameplay advantage. Maybe. Another thing that makes me, think about here is that actually this highlights yet another sector that is currently relatively untapped for Palantir. Now, I would like to say that this is a brand new sector that they're moving into. They've never worked with any sporting organizations before, but it's not. We know that they have. Just a few days ago, actually, we heard that they had a partnership with, Horse Integrity Safety Authority, HISA. Yeah, I think that's right. And that was a new contract, and they were working with them to basically build a data-enabled tool to let the stakeholders identify those horses at risk for injury before they actually race. So again, being proactive rather than reactive. Interestingly, actually, let me just say this quickly. That partnership with HISA was because of the AIP boot camps. They went to an AIP bootcamp, they found a use case for AIP, and then they partnered and signed a contract with Palantir to do this. That goes to show you the success that these AIP strategy, the go-to-market AIP bootcamps are actually having. We also know that Palantir have worked within the sporting sector a few more times as well. We've got obviously Ferrari, big partnership for Palantir. I think, I could be wrong, I think they've been involved with baseball before. And also a couple of years ago, there was the Foundry for Builders program that Palantir did. And one of those organizations was the European Cricket Association industry, European Cricket Organization, something like that. And they were working with Foundry. So it's not the first time that Palantir are working within this industry. However, it is a chance for them to move and expand into this sector more so. Because at the moment, You know, they're getting lots of deals on the government side. They're getting lots on the commercial side too. But this is yet another industry that they could actually gain revenue from the commercial side. TAM, total addressable market, is big. Every time a new partnership or a new piece of information comes out about a different sector that maybe I hadn't considered or just wasn't on the forefront of my mind, I'm reminded about how big the total addressable market really, really is for Palantir. And alongside that as well, obviously, a lot of people watch American football. So this is a way for Palantir to get their business name into the world, to make it one day maybe a household name, just like Amazon is. Everyone knows what Amazon is, everyone. Now, I'm not saying Palantir will ever become a name that big like Amazon, but just by getting more people seeing it on TV, knowing that there's a partnership going on, whatever it may be, it does help to build that reputation for Palantir. And then what happens with this is that a business may have some money left over at the end of the month, whatever, and they may say, do you know what? We actually want to use our data more effectively. We want to start integrating AI. Do you know of anyone that can help us with that? Oh yeah, I remember Palantir actually working with this company and this company. I've heard about them. Let's see how they can help us. So getting that name out there is really, really crucial. And I always think that everyone knows about Palantir because I research Palantir every single day, but actually most people have no idea, haven't even heard about Palantir before. So let's now, as we always do, we'll have a look what Palantir stock is doing. Oh, that's a bit too close. Okay. This is exciting. So closed on the 11th, this price, pre-market $18.04, up by 1.52%. So it looks like we're going to open above that $18 range. That's exciting. I mean, it's exciting because, I want to see Palantir doing well. Ultimately, though, right now, I would kind of rather it do the other thing because I want to load up on shares as cheap as possible. But this is interesting. I've got a question for you guys that are watching this live or are watching this not live even, doesn't matter. When you're investing, and this doesn't just apply to Palantir, this is any of your positions in your portfolio, are you taking the strategy of just adding shares and then leaving them alone? Or do you actually take profit from ones that have done particularly well? Maybe they're up by 50%, whatever the percentage may be. Are you taking the profit from that and then circulating that back into another position that you have that may not be doing as well? Let me know, because I ask this question a lot to different people and it seems quite split between some people just keep investing and just leave it alone and add new money into the positions that are dipping, whatever. And then other people are taking profits regularly and then redistributing that into the stocks that they have that perhaps aren't doing so well at that time. It seems to be quite split on my Discord anyway. So let's jump over to the live chat. Let's see what's going on. 118 of you guys here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. From North Carolina. The weather right now in England is okay. Over the weekend, it was a very miserable weekend, very rainy, very windy, not nice. It seems to be a little bit brighter today, but still. What bothers me the most is just that the daylight hours, we don't have much light in a given day. We wake up, it's dark. We go to sleep, it's dark. When we finish work, it's dark. Not much daylight, which sucks. In the winter, I mean. Howdy from Australia. Happy Monday to you too. I can't believe it's Monday again. Crazy. Hey, Kelly, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. I like the butterfly next to your name. My weekend was good. I'm currently doing a lot of research into particular stocks that I'm looking to add to my portfolio soon. Still in the process of deciding which stock I want to give me exposure to this particular industry. Now, I'm not trying to be cryptic. I just want to share this when I know exactly what I'm investing into. I've been like sharing what industry it is and stuff over on Discord, but I will share it properly when I've decided, when I've made that decision. So it's been a good weekend. I did some fun things too, but I also did lots of research. Good morning, good afternoon, Susan. Mickey, hello. Member in the house. Thank you for joining as always. Remember to smash that like button. Appreciate it. Do you think it's worth buying at the moment? Just to confirm, that is Palantir. This question is so hard to answer because it's going to literally depend on your timeline that you want to invest, your risk strategy, how long you are looking to hold this position for. If you have conviction for this company and you are currently trying to accumulate as many shares as possible to hold for a very long time, then yeah, I think so. But it's going to be really personal. There are lots of people that were investing during the $6, $7, $8 range that are now kind of holding back until maybe it falls to the $15, $14, $16 range. Of course, we don't know if that's going to happen. So you could say that actually, I think it's really overvalued right now. And I think there's a dip coming and I'll wait, but then that may never come. And it may never return to $14. And then of course, you've got that regret. So I think what I do, because of the potential of, how important mindset is in investing, and I don't want to have that regret. I don't want to feel anxious about my investments. I don't want to continuously be having to check the stock price to figure out if now's a good time to press that buy button. I instead just purchase every single week for what I can afford, put money into Tesla, Palantir, my other positions, and then I have some on the side as cash on my account. That gives me a way to invest quickly if I see a big opportunity. If, for instance, today it fell by 9%, I would use some of that cash. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. Looking forward to the new channel. When is the first video? Thank you. For anyone watching that has no idea what this comment is about, I have a new channel that I'm starting called Stock Speak. It's in the description. You can go and subscribe. It's a place that I'm going to be sharing videos about many, many stocks. Of course, on this channel, it's mainly Tesla and Palantir at this point in my portfolio. On that new channel, it's going to be me giving an overview to many, many stocks to allow people to then have the basics. With that information, they can then decide if they want to go off and do further research and maybe eventually add that stock to their portfolio. So I'm currently in the position where I'm taking recommendations as to what stocks you want me to cover on that channel. And yeah, when's the first video? This week. I haven't filmed it yet, but I know what I'm talking about. I've got a plan with what stock it's going to be. So it will be out this week, the first one. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. It'll be fun. Be very different to this channel. Always try to dollar cost average and get a lower base cost, not financial advice. All stock can take a tumble and be available at a discount. Yep, absolutely. You never know what's going to happen in the stock market. We could have a massive drop tomorrow. We could have it go up by 10%. We don't know. Looks strong pre-market today, though. I think Elon was at that game yesterday. Yes, he was. There was a picture that was taken of himself and his son. And in the background, you could see the Palantir logo. So yeah, he was there. I always like it when I see anything to do with Tesla and Palantir in one place. Like when Elon Musk and Alex Karp were at that conference and they were sat together, stuff like that. Because they're my two largest positions and the two companies that I follow every single day. The Army Navy game. Yep, that was where he was at. Hello. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. You've changed your name. Dark Arts. I like it. I like it. Curious to see if it would be a good chance to get in. Okay, let's leave some opinions. This is not financial advice, but please feel free to leave opinions whether you think now is a good chance to get into Palantir stock or not. It's got to be your decision because it's your money. But Let's see what people say. The NFL would be a real biggie for Palantir, recognition and revenue. Absolutely. Good morning, Drew. Thank you for being here. I love that we have familiar names on these streams now, and then we have some new people that join us. Honestly, I don't know exactly what Palantir does for companies. Yes, big data and AI helps make better decisions, but I don't know exactly what it is. But I don't know exactly what that is different to other companies. Okay, so you're not sure, I guess, on Palantir's moat, I suppose, is what you're asking. Why Palantir is different to other companies. Is that what you're asking? I don't want to answer that question in case that's not what you're asking. But yeah, I mean, there's many companies that are going to be involved in big data and AI. It's just which companies are actually producing pieces of software and have platforms that are making really valuable outcomes for businesses. Which are those ones? And I think Palantir is one of them. Palantir, again, is one of the ones that can work with any industry out there. They're not specific to an industry. Their total addressable market is really big. They're a founder-led company. They're GAAP profitable. They're going to be included in the S&P 500 soon. They've worked with the most confidential data out there. For years, they've worked with the Department of Defense and the US government. They have IL6 level accreditation, which only 3 companies in the entire world, impact level 6, sorry. So there's many, many reasons as to why they are more competitive maybe than other options. But yeah, we're just getting started in this industry. Okay, these comments are coming from the question that I asked during the live, which was, do people just buy and hold, or do people take profit and circulate that profit back into other positions? So we've got quite a mixture. Okay, buy and hold is the majority and options. Okay, cool. I'm selling my Palantir when it hits $200 per share. When do you think that's going to be? We are going global on this stream. We are going global. London's always cold in December. Yep, the UK is not great in winter. I've tried timing the market. It screws me over every time. Now I just buy and hold. Growth stock investing is for the patient. Yeah, there's a reason that every single person with a lot of experience and the people that have done really well have said time in the market, the amount of time that you're investing, is way more important than trying to time the market. Because you are going to, at some point, you're probably going to be able to time it relatively okay. But for the majority of times that you try and time the market, you are not going to hit that exact point that you need. And then you'll get stressed, you'll lose money, you'll find yourself needing to constantly be stuck, glued, looking at the stock price. It's not great. It's not great. Some people do it better than others, of course, but a massive, massive part of that just comes down to luck. I mean, you can always, obviously, this isn't time in the market. This is definitely not that, but you can always have money ready to go for when something falls. But instead of waiting for it to fall to its bottom and then add, which is timing, because you're trying to time when the bottom is, you can instead just say, okay, well, if it drops by 6% today, I'm going to add my $100 in or whatever it is. Yep, Kelly is here. I don't know if she's still here, but here she is. It's cool to see more and more people from the Palantir community join in. And Kelly, you know, seeing another woman investing is very cool. And someone else that's interested in Palantir. I own only Tesla and Palantir, but looking to add PayPal and CRISPR Therapeutics. Interesting. You should subscribe to the new channel. Some of these stocks will definitely be covered. Palantir, God, it's on my mind. PayPal is a very interesting one right now because it's fallen so much from all-time highs. And there is, okay, I'm not going to make this whole video about PayPal. It will be on the new channel at some point. But I think there's many bullish reasons there to actually look at PayPal, but then there's some really concerning factors there as well, which kind of puts me off. I'm not necessarily looking to add it to my own portfolio, but definitely interesting to think about whether there's an opportunity that's being presented there or not. We'll do a few more and then we will wrap it up for today. I took profits around 19 to 21 because I was holding for so long, and Palantir was at 40 something percentage of my portfolio. Okay, you've made a really good point there. And that's one I completely forgot about. If you've got a portfolio whereby you have a portfolio allocation goal, say you want 10% of this one, 20% of this one, 30% of this one, and a particular stock starts doing really well, like Palantir has this year, that then has the potential to overexpose you to a particular stock in your portfolio. Your 10% that you added at the beginning of the year now may be 15%, 20% because of the run up it's had. So you may, like this person saying, you may decide to actually cut back on that position so that it becomes 10% again, so that you feel more comfortable with your portfolio allocation percentages. Great point. Forgot about that. Greetings from Florida. I'm sure you've got much nicer weather than we have here in the UK. What would make you more mad? Okay, this is a question for everyone. What would make you more mad? Buying a stock and the price drops for the next month, or selling the stock and the price goes up for the next month? My answer is the second one would make me more mad. I would okay, this sounds like I'm tooting my own horn here. I'm a very patient person just by nature, and I'm very, very good at delayed gratification. Just naturally. That's nothing to do with investing. That's just in life. That makes it easier for me than maybe other people to actually carry on buying when a stock dips and to not necessarily freak out and get FOMO and stuff like that. However, I would much rather buy a stock and the stock price continues to drop, because I would trust myself that I've done enough research to build my conviction to want to continue buying that stock for the long term. So if it falls, all I'm seeing is more chance at accumulating shares for cheaper. I'm just seeing an opportunity, a sale, because I think it's going to get more valuable over time. But if I sold a position and then it goes up, I would be like, oh, damn, I could have had more returns. For sure. That's my answer. I will cover this stock on my new channel. Okay, I don't have too many opinions right now, but I'll cover it. I'm writing it down right now so I don't forget, because I've got a very long list of stocks people have given me. So it might not be out anytime soon, but subscribe and I'll get it at some point. Oh, thank you. Okay, here is the new channel. I didn't realize it wasn't in the description. I'll put it in after. Just go onto YouTube and search Stock Speak. It will be there, or it will be in a main channel video description of this of my channel. I think we're on like 110 subscribers now, so that's cool. Not posted. How can I join the Discord? Oh, Bem96 is being my admin assistant today. Thank you. Thank you for considering joining the Discord first and foremost. You have to join it on Patreon. So this link here, www.patreon.com/Hayley Eich, that will take you to a page. You can then decide which tier you want to sign up for. With that, you will get access to the Discord where you can chat to myself and other investors every day. You'll get live buy and sell notifications every time I buy or sell. You will also get weekly portfolio updates, market commentary, and any other pieces of information about particular stocks I'm sharing. And it's £3 a month or the equivalent. So it's literally as cheap as I can possibly have it on Patreon. And I just want to build a community of people that want to encourage each other, want to keep each other accountable, want to share and talk about stocks, because I cannot, I got to the point where I couldn't message people in my personal life, friends, family, whatever, about investing and about stocks so much, because not everyone's interested in it. So now I've got a community where everyone does care. That's fun. Okay, it's been going up since people like status and acting rich. Yeah, what's it been doing this year, actually? Let me have a look. Okay, I don't want to know about the company. I want to know the stock. Oh, okay. It's been going up this year, but nothing too crazy. Not a position I'm in at all. Buy and hold Tesla and Palantir. Sounds very, very familiar. I buy and hold, but sell options against them to make a premium. Yeah, this seems like a very, very familiar strategy as well that I'm seeing a lot. Sir Lallington, an amazing Patreon member. So if you join Discord, you can speak to Sir Lallington. Bitcoin dropped, may drop more. Yeah, I saw that it's been dropping today a little bit. What's it on now? I don't have Bitcoin in my portfolio. Yeah, down by 4.17% so far on the day. I do have a crypto portfolio. I just don't have Bitcoin in it, which may be silly, maybe. It will never go back to 15. Buy under $20 is the new way forward. This is the thing. No one knows what's going to happen. We don't know if it's ever going to go back to 15 or we're going to go up to 30 and that's going to be it. Like, no idea. According to you, to start, the best strategy would be ETFs or stock picking. My opinion is that if you are brand new to investing, you've never had any investing experience before, then I would get yourself in the game quickly by having an ETF. I'm thinking of an ETF that is, a big one, a really well-known one, not one that is perhaps more risky. Maybe an S&P 500 tracking ETF, maybe a global all-world sort of ETF, something like that. Get skin in the game. So you've got exposure, time in the market. Then I would start thinking about, do you actually want to pick stocks? Because 1, it's time consuming. 2, it's not for everyone. And 3, some people don't care enough to do the research, and that's fine. And if that is you, then just stick to an ETF or a couple of ETFs and just do it that way, because you can get market average returns doing that, and that's fantastic. If, however, you start learning more and you're taking the time to learn and you become particularly interested in certain companies, so companies, not the stock, and you are willing to keep on top of those companies and do the research and, know so much about it that it feels more risky not to invest in that company than it does to invest, then I think start adding individual stocks. And you can do that alongside ETFs. You don't have to do one or the other. That's just my 2 cents. But I wouldn't randomly pick 30 individual stocks and just hope for the best, because that is literally gambling. If you're going to do that, get an ETF. Palantir is recovering. It may be a nice Christmas. Wow. Christmas for us all. I hope so. I don't know what just came out of my mouth there. Tom Nash has a $500 per share price target. That's a big stretch in the next 5 years. Yeah, price targets are really interesting and they're definitely fun to think about. And I've made videos myself before, but you always do have to say, no one knows what's going to happen. It may not reach this. These are the factors that I see getting us there. It's so hard to do, because if you ever put a video like that out, so many people will say that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. You don't know. And it's true. Like, no one knows. But he obviously has thought about his price target and why he thinks that's going to happen. And fair enough. I don't really have much to say on that one. If it does reach $500 per share, that would be amazing. And you've got to remember as well, if a company is going to grow very, very quickly in terms of the stock price, we're going to see stock splits at some point. It's not just going to indefinitely go up and one day the stock will be $2,000 per share. It will undergo stock splits so that the number on the screen looks feasible for people to invest into. PayPal going to $100. My PayPal position is 45%. That's significant. Zach, Robinhood will 100% be covered in the next few days on the new channel. Please subscribe there. Very interesting company. Been doing a little bit of research. Right, we're going to really wrap this up soon. Some really great comments today. Hi, I'm a woman and interested in investing, especially growth. Amazing to see. Amazing to see. My audience, right? My audience on this channel is like 2% female, 98% male, which is cool. Like, that's great and that's fine with me. But it is cool to see some women getting interested in investing. Heavy position in Palantir since April, May 2023, average $9. Also owns some CRISPR therapeutics. You should come and join the Discord. You should come and join the Discord. I see a lot of overlap in our interests from what you've just said. Palantir is 13% of your holdings. That's a reasonable position. Palantir for me is a lot more than that, but you've just got to decide what is reasonable for you. Yes, I did. I now have running hot water and heating. Thank God. Any time is a good time to start dollar cost averaging into a long-term position. Yep, time in the market versus timing. Do you plan on covering SoFi? Yes, absolutely. All of these stocks that you guys are saying will be covered on the new channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And on that note, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. A lot of people that watch my videos and the live streams aren't actually subscribed, which sucks. Like 55% of people don't actually subscribe, but they watch the videos. So if you do watch them and you like them, please subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff. Help me out, help the algorithm out. And I appreciate you all watching this live stream today and just joining me every day. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope you found this interesting or valuable or both. Thank you again, and I'll see you in a video later tonight and a live stream tomorrow. Bye, everyone.